Forget rankings, forget records. Rivalry week changed everything. The crowd in Jacksonville was roaring, the air was tense, and both teams came out swinging. Georgia looked confident, maybe a little too confident, and Florida showed up ready to punch first. What looked like another easy win for the Bulldogs turned into a fight for survival. This wasn't about stats, it was about pride, mistakes, and one clutch drive that saved Georgia's season. Let's unpack exactly how this rivalry turned messy, dramatic, and unforgettable. Coming into this matchup, everything pointed toward Georgia owning the rivalry. 5 straight wins, a strong record, and plenty of momentum. Florida, meanwhile, was under new leadership. They had something to prove, and they faced a make-or-break situation. It was a neutral site showdown in Jacksonville that always feels like home for Georgia. The energy, the noise, the tradition. And yet, things didn't go as anyone expected. Here is what happened. Final score, Georgia 24, Florida 20. Georgia outgained Florida 361 yards to 281. The game started strong for the Bulldogs. A smart 75-yard drive capped by a touchdown pass from quarterback Gunnar Stockton to Dylan Bell. Florida fired right back with a one-play strike. DJ Lagway to Eugene Wilson III for a 40-yard touchdown. The momentum flipped instantly. Georgia tied it just before half with a 39-yard field goal by Peyton Woodring. At halftime, dead even. In the third quarter, Georgia struck again. A 74-yard drive, finished by a 22-yard touchdown pass to Noah Thomas. Bulldogs up 17-10. Florida answered, refusing to go away. A 79-yard drive and a touchdown run by Jadan Baugh tied it again, 17-17. Then came the shocker. Florida nailed a 54-yard field goal to take a 20-17 lead with under 15 minutes left. But Georgia didn't fold. With 4.5 minutes remaining, Chauncey Bowens broke free for a 36-yard touchdown run that put Georgia back on top, 24-20. When Florida had one last shot, Georgia's defense stood tall, forcing a turnover on downs with just over 3 minutes to go. And just like that, the Bulldogs escaped, but it didn't feel like domination. It felt like relief. Now, let's talk about what went wrong. For Florida, the effort was there, but the execution fell short. They had the lead in the fourth, but couldn't close. That 54-yard field goal was impressive, but the fact they needed it said everything. They moved the ball, but couldn't finish drives when it mattered most. Then came 2 failed fourth down conversions late in the game. Chances that could have iced it, but didn't. Georgia's defense, though shaky early, showed experience and composure when it mattered most. For Georgia, a win is a win, but this one raises questions. They trailed early, they trailed late, and according to their own notes, this is the 4th time this season they have been behind in the 4th quarter during SEC play. The offense flashed brilliance, but looked uneven. A few explosive plays mixed with long, dry spells. If that defense doesn't step up in crunch time, this one could easily have slipped away. Now, looking ahead, here's what both teams need to take away from this battle. For Georgia, they must finish stronger, earlier. Stop waiting until the 4th quarter to take control. Build leads and force opponents to chase. Be sharper in the red zone and maintain composure. The late stop was huge, but they can't always rely on last-minute heroics. For Florida, take advantage when you are ahead. You have got momentum. You have got the lead. Finish your drives. Make those big plays count. You had the moments, but not the closure. And under new leadership, build belief. Coaching changes bring disruption, sure, but they also bring opportunity. You showed fight, now turn that into wins. Victory lives and dies in the details, and both sides learned that the hard way. From where I sit, this game was a reminder that rivalries aren't just about rankings or stats, they are about heart. Georgia may be the more polished team on paper, but Florida showed real fight. The Bulldogs proved they can still grind out the ugly wins, but they will need to tighten up if they want to keep their championship hopes alive. If you are a Georgia fan, it's relief, not celebration. If you are a Florida fan, pride in the effort, but frustration too, because you were that close. This game will define both teams moving forward. Georgia will push to dominate. Florida will look to reverse their fortunes next time. So there it is. Georgia escapes 24-20, their 5th straight win in this rivalry. What did you see out there? Was it Georgia's late game composure, Florida's missed chances, or just pure rivalry magic? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what stood out to you. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more updates. Until next time, bye.